Welcome back, everyone. This is Live from Beyond. I'm Kevin. I'll be playing the role of the Game Master. And these...
Please don't.
I have to go. I have to go now.
These four fools are the players.
Can you
Go
not
ahead
count?
and adjust yourselves. What was that?
Who's the fourth?
Oh,
He's a poor.
Oh, poor.
and
poor
this
players.
stupid.
They
Well-
can't even count.
I'm Kim, and I'm playing Vorgorax, a
Tell 'em about your
axe-wielding
pants.
smith who is battle-scarred, and he can count at least to 3.
We think.
And I'm Nick, and I'm playing Unferth. And if you can tell me anything about Unferth, you win a prize. Because if you're a good enough fan to have watched the last episode, and now you know who Unferth is, I would appreciate you just dropping me a little knowledge.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm Nick.
No, we fucked it up. Let's start all over again.
No. There's no going back on this road. This train only runs one direction.
All the way down.
Straight down to the ground.
I'm Aaron, and I'm playing Hazen Vrata, a shadowy figure who is tricky and occasionally cuts throats.
All right. So, Aaron, we filled you in a little bit last time.
Did we, though?
This time, before the session, just a little bit. Just enough so you will embarrass yourself.
So enough so you
I
know
think
more than
we're
I
just
do
gonna
at this point.
I don't feel like we're going to do a big introduction. I think we'll just retcon you as having been here the whole time. Just that you're sneaky enough that no one actually noticed you or talked to you.
We just
Alright.
assumed that suit of armor in the corner was a suit of armor.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm the rock that you guys were standing by that first day.
There was
You
a
didn't
rock.
notice, but it was like everywhere that you went, there was like also that same rock. That was me.
I did
All right,
notice
cool.
that
All right,
rock.
I knew you were the smart one. I knew out of this whole group, you were the smart one. I could tell.
This doesn't bode well for anybody.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you guys remember, you had set off. I'm telling you. You don't have to shake your head.
Oh, why would you say that? Why would you even say
All right.
So that you may remember.
Because of course you remember. Last time. Oh, no. None of that.
No, that.
You had set off towards your neighboring village to find out what had happened to them. Your village has not received word from them for many weeks. I actually did just tell you this like 10 minutes ago as well.
No, I remember that part. They were to the north.
All right.
Wait, I don't remember this. All right, it's fine. It's fine. Let's go forward on to the next village.
There was a village to the north, and nobody had heard from them for weeks. And somebody's brother lives there. One of our characters brother.
Isn't it Vorgorax's brother?
It might have been.
Definitely not
I
my
said
brother.
one of our characters.
I think it's
Vorgorax?
Vorgorax's brother. Which is Kim.
Vorgorax?
He's died.
Kim is like, Skip stopped listening to us. As soon as you said, and I'm the game master.
I asked you not to. I'm sorry. Please repeat yourself. It's very hot.
Is your. I mean, okay. Kim, your character is the one who has a brother in the town that we're going to see if they've been invaded or something.
Yeah, I swore a whole oath about it.
Okay, well,
Or bond.
yeah, I remembered something.
Is it a
Well,
bond or an oath?
it's both, I think.
Can it be both?
One of my
bond?
bonds is that my
Wait,
brother...
Did you say it's both as a portmanteau of bond and oath?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
It's both.
All right.
We couldn't hear it, but both
It
were
works
spelled
on-
with an A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you'd
Boaz.
thought about it, you would have heard the A, but both?
So,
It's like how they changed the spelling of Wrangley to make sure that, you know.
All right. You get the bug
Back
out.
in 1821? I remember that.
All right. This train needs to start moving down.
alright. So yes, my brother went to Woodcrest, which I think is where we're going, to get supplies, and he hasn't come back. So I swore an oath to go find him.
He's dead.
Well,
come
yes,
on,
obviously, but we're not there yet.
Don't have to
If
crush
your
the
brother
whole.
goes, if your brother goes to get supplies from like the next door neighboring village weeks ago and never comes back, that fucker's dead.
Well,
I
either
mean,
that or it's like a pleasure village and he hasn't been able to
I was
leave.
gonna say, I don't think.
Like Hotel California? I don't know.
Did you see our village? It's not exactly a nice place.
Well, then maybe that's why he didn't come back.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. He might not be dead. He might just decided to stay.
Maybe
All right. All right. Fair enough. So, all right. So you've set off. I think we went over this last time, but we're gonna step back a second. And the first thing we're gonna do is tell me as you journey forth. You all, I guess, provisioned yourselves a bit so you have supply. But who's sort of leading this expedition? Who is taking the initiative to establish themselves as the voice of reason in your band?
Can it be none of the three of us?
Not at present.
Can it be Michael's character?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was almost definitely Michael's character. Because he was
Yeah,
like some
Michael's
kind of like
character's like
weird
the
old
wizard
lady or
old-
something.
That's right, he was the weird old
great
lady.
mother. The great mother's like, the elder of this here.
Well, she's feeling you all out. So one of you is going to have to step up and take the reins here.
I think
Vrada has actually disappeared. Like you don't. No one sees him.
I think that
Sitting on a rock. I'm not sure though.
Hasten's silence would probably be construed as wisdom more often than not. So
That's true.
That's
Having
fine,
to-
but like
In a certain way, you're forging
should-
the path.
you should just understand that like I won't move.
Okay, very wise.
That if the wisdom is to remain here and never set forth on the journey, then like I am.
All right,
A
all right,
wizard.
all right, all right.
Slow down there, Sun
Listen,
Tzu.
I'm just gonna take the initiative here. Save us all a lot of trouble. Wargarex is the leader.
What? Just some like dumb blacksmith with an axe. This is a colossal mistake.
Listen, I think
I literally
Well-
took like ones
Well,
in both
listen.
of the things that have anything to do with intelligence because I do remember that there was a thing about my character that he was like very
Oh.
simple.
I guess I
Okay,
have wits
so-
too, so I'm not completely useless.
while Borgrex might not be leadership material in the competitive market, I think that he finds himself.
All the leaders have died, so here we are.
Right. I mean, let's remember that like Unferth literally does not know who he is. Like is a mystery to himself.
That's true.
I mean, isn't that the wisest thing of all?
Look,
Yes.
there's a reason I didn't suggest that Unferth should be the leader.
All right, Vercingetorix.
Sure, yeah.
Go forth.
I guess. Is there leadering to be done? Is that it?
No, he just wants to know
He
who's
just-
who.
Yeah. No,
No,
yeah, I
so-
sure. I'll walk out in front and
Kevin always asks that, and then he makes that person make a survival roll. This is how it works. This is like Kevin's MO.
you telling me I'm gonna die?
Well, it depends
Who
how
is
you
the
roll.
leader? They die.
Can it be both?
Yeah. So, you definitely don't have to roll. What's this called?
Survival.
No, it's not called survival. Maybe.
Oh, I
it's
thought you meant
Shadow.
heart.
That's not helpful.
Rock.
Iron.
What's happening?
Undertake a journey.
Oh, sweet Jesus. That was a link.
Is that a move?
Yes.
Undertake a journey?
Like a thing.
Yes.
On a perilous journey.
What am I rolling
That's-
against?
that's
Wits?
This is a troublesome journey.
Jesus.
Okay.
So yes, you're rolling wits plus wits. You are starting from a community with which you share a bond, so you have a +1. And let me know how you do.
Okie dokie. I get an 11. Boom.
Ooh, wow. All right then.
Hey, we're
right,
there.
so-
We find it.
So you reach a waypoint. The waypoint is unknown to you. Okay, so choose one. You may make a good use of your resources, or you may move at speed. Both of them have different effects.
Alright, I feel like Vorgarax would make good use of his resources.
I didn't
All
see
right,
that.
so you mark progress, which I believe is 3 progress. I think that's essentially experience.
What?
So I mark
Hold on.
1 or I mark 3?
Yes.
3. Yeah. Anyways, we can. That's fine. All right. So you travel down the road from your village over several. Over the course of a night, you stop for the night before continuing on in the morning. Somewhat before lunch the next day, you see down the road as you crest the top of a hill an overturned wagon down near the base of the hill.
Well, I'll say, looks like somebody's in trouble down there. Should go take a look.
This looks like a free wagon to me.
Yes.
Where'd that voice come from?
Said that.
Oh, and sorry. This morning, a light snow has begun to fall, dusting the road in powder.
Alright, well, I guess we'll kind of trot down towards this overturned wagon.
Sure. So, you trot down towards the wagon, and immediately you are met with the sight of a corpse sitting against the side of the overturned wagon. Its leg sort of bent at an unnatural angle.
Like I said, free wagon.
I
I'm here to claim it.
Is it somebody I recognize? It's my brother.
No, it's not your brother.
It's your dad.
Oh God.
Your whole family is just.
It's your brother's dad.
Oh, I don't really know him.
So you don't recognize the man. His face is sort of contorted, and his skin has grown pale.
I loot the wagon.
Sure, yeah. So you step up on top of the wagon, and you could see that it contains like sort of foodstuffs, wheat, some other grains, a small pouch of coins, silver coins,
I'll take that.
and that's about it.
Did we have? We were walking, right? We didn't have horses or nothing.
Right.
I have a pony.
Could the
All right.
pony? Could he? Well, do you? Or are you making fun of me? Is this a
I
reference?
think the answer to that is clear.
Can it be both?
It's not both. So let's just.
Actually,
It could be both.
Did somebody take the? I thought somebody did take the horse because I don't think it was me, but I thought somebody said they were taking the horse.
Absolutely positive that Alex chose an animal companion because I've never known Alex to pass up an animal companion.
I
in
know
an
somebody
RPG.
took the hound, but I thought somebody also took the horse.
Oh.
I don't remember anybody taking the horse, but it's possible.
Is there anything
Alright,
of value
Ironsworn
on the man
horse.
himself?
He has a leather tunic. It's not particularly well made. It's probably like for hunting, but that's about it. He doesn't really have. He has a small pocket like knife, like not like dagger, like knife.
Is there like a dead horse there too, or?
There's not actually, and as you look around the area, you can see that there's some horse tracks that go off into the forest, and there's also several sets of people tracks that go off into the forest as well. You also notice that there's a set of tracks coming along from the direction that you came that you're fairly sure you didn't make yourselves.
Are there signs of a struggle?
So
How long has this guy been dead? Is it like fairly recent, or is it like a rotting, like decaying corpse?
It's hard to tell. He doesn't look that recent, and you actually don't see any wounds.
Is there any indication that a woolly beetle was drawing this carriage?
Oh, that's right. We're using bugs instead of animals. That's right. Sorry. When I said horse, I meant woolly beetle. That's what you call them. That is.
I say huzzah at these rations, for I cannot remember bringing any with us.
All right. Harrison, can you roll gather information, which is plus wits?
Okay. $13.
My God.
We lost Kim. Our leader has abandoned us.
Okay, and the question you were asking was, I forgot.
Signs of a struggle.
Yes, so there are signs of a struggle. They're a bit hard to find as they're just beneath the dusting of snow, but in the dirt there's several footprints which would indicate someone was pushed around and some footwork was done.
Since I got a 13, can I tell whether there was any perceptible damage to the person? You said he doesn't have any wounds, but a needle mark or
the man slumped against the cart.
Yeah,
there's absolutely nothing that you can find wrong with him.
Okay,
he just does not appear to be alive anymore. I mean,
I pronounce this man healthy and whole.
I assume that you're correct.
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say, well, obviously this guy was beset by some ne'er-do-wells. We should follow these tracks, see if we can catch them. Bring them to justice.
Is that really what we're here for, though?
Didn't we, I swore an oath to protect and cleanse this land. I believe you did the same.
I believe the oath was to protect the land and its people. This man needs no protection. But I have no interest in protecting whoever stole this man's beetle.
If we leave these cretins be, then they'll harass some other traveler.
That's
this is why
quite an assumption that you're making.
This is why the trade between our village and the village of Woodcrest is, broken down. You can't travel in safety.
I think again that you're making a lot of assumptions.
I'm not sure that the trade so much broke down as they don't want to have anything to do with us anymore.
Well, I didn't know that I'd set out on this journey with a bunch of cowards.
Well, now you know.
Do that. I remember that the guy who gave us all weapons specifically accused all of us of being cowards and lazy. I think you knew.
Say, do as you will.
We were basically the best he had because everybody else was decrepit.
I cannot stand by and let these bandits get away with it. Vorgarax will march off along the tracks.
Ace and Verada will continue towards the village.
His axe in hand.
All right. What about Unferth?
Unferth also wants to go towards the village, but does not have an axe to have in hand, and so he is sad.
Wait, listen, the person with the axe is not going to the village.
I thought he just said I stride towards the village.
No, he's striding after the bad guys, his ne'er-do-wells. He's striding off into the forest. I am going towards the village. I do not have an axe. And I really don't stride either.
Sneaks.
Unferth is going to bury the man.
Ooh.
Okay, I like it. I like it a lot.
All right. Well, good job, guys. Not splitting the party.
Easy.
Just wait until I get my woolly beetle. I'll get this wagon all fixed up. Then we'll see.
All right, so let's deal with Kim first. Borgarax. All right, so Borgarax, it's easy enough to follow the tracks through the forest. You hurry along, and before long, you hear some shrieks up ahead.
Like the shriek of a person or the shriek of a woolly beetle?
The shriek of a woman.
Of a woman.
A woman
Sounds
beetle.
a lot like the shriek of a woolly beetle.
Vorgarax picks up the pace, hurries towards the sound.
Okay, so you see two men, each with a crude spear, sort of like gesturing at a woman who is like shrieking and stepping back and holding her face.
And this is like in the middle of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Can I guess approach them without them noticing me?
You can try to. So this is called a enter the fray move, and you will be taking the option to move into position against an unaware foe. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like what I want to do.
All right. So this is a dangerous foe, and you need to roll plus shadow.
A shadow. Okay. I don't have a lot of shadow. Let me just see if any of my abilities make any difference here. Where is Sunder? That's not until I actually. Okay. So I get a 7.
That is a weak hit. Okay, so you can choose one. You can bolster your position and take +2 momentum, or you can prepare to act and take initiative. Initiative is like a thing. When you do any of the other combat moves, if you have initiative, you can do better moves. Otherwise, you do worse moves.
I guess I'll take initiative.
Okay, cool. All right, so Vorgarax creeps in out of sight behind a tree behind these men, and I guess you have one axe, or yeah.
Yeah, I think it just has a big bearded axe.
All right, I guess prepares to strike.
Yeah.
All right, so Unferth, you see.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't take you long to figure out that the ground is very hard. It's going to take you a while to bury this man.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you guys really have a shovel.
Does he have anything at all on the cart that I could use to that
Not a
purpose at all?
shovel.
How far away is the forest line? Is there any softer dirt in there that I could?
But the ground is more or less freezing, so that's why it's hard. It's the cold.
Great. Are there any rocks?
Yeah, you want to build a cairn?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. All right, you start building a cairn. Okay. After not too long, I think you're going to hear a shriek from the forest. Would that change your course of action at all?
Like a woolly beetle kind of shriek?
Like woolly beetle woman? Hard to tell.
Yeah, it would change my course of action. I would build it more hastily.
All right. You begin.
I'd at least try and get a smattering of rocks on top of this man to
Sprinkling of rocks.
Sprinkle some rocks on him. Let's get out of here.
No, I mean, fine. If there's a shriek from the direction of the forest, I will mutter my apologies to the dead body and then and rush off towards the sound.
Okay.
Spear / rod or whatever it was that I got in hand.
All right.
It's hardly the time.
Isn't it always the time?
All right, fair enough. Okay, so Aaron, you walk further towards the village. You could see it as you crest the next hill in the distance. You can see that none of the cook fires are lit. There's no smoke coming out of any of the chimneys. and the gates you can just make out hang open.
Okay.
It's still like at least like a mile off. So.
All right, and there's like no signs of danger.
Not any that you can see.
All right, then I will continue to proceed towards the village, and then I would say when I'm like, I don't know, a quarter mile out, something like that, a couple of 1,000 feet, I'm going to shadow walk.
Okay, what does shadow walking do?
All right,
You don't even
so
wanna know.
I obscure myself within the gossamer veil of the shadow realms.
Jesus Christ.
I think basically I just like walk in the shadows a little bit. Like try not to be like right out there in the sunlight.
Do you have to say it like that, Heston, every single time?
In the veils of the shadow realm. No. Yeah, so I roll plus shadow, and on a strong hit, I take +1 momentum, and then on a weak hit, I would get -1 spirit instead of +1 momentum, and with any kind of hit, I can reroll any die one time only when I face danger, secure an advantage, or gather information by hiding, sneaking, or observing from concealment.
Okay, so wait, I only understood 75% of that. You can reroll because you're like sneaking?
Yeah. So if I'm doing, like, once I do the shadow walk thing, if I am involved in a face danger, secure an advantage, or gather information thing where I am hiding, sneaking, or observing from concealment, then I get to re-roll the check.
Okay, cool. All right, so you begin, I don't know, doing some kind of shadow dance.
All right, let me roll my shadow dance, my
Sure.
dance of shadows. It is a
9.
weak hit, the strongest of weak hits.
So
What does it mean to suffer -1 spirit? Okay, I just like move that down a pip or something.
correct.
Okay.
All right. So Vorgarax, the time I guess has come to strike. What are you gonna do here? So I think your options are strike or not do that.
I think
strike or not to strike.
I will strike.
All right.
Yeah. So if I kind of get close enough, as soon as I see my opportunity, I'm gonna step in and take a mighty swing at the nearest bandit.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So
It's fucking
have
Unfirth.
Oh, sorry, Unverth, but also not sorry.
he looks mildly confused as his head rolls to the ground. All right. So you roll plus iron.
Okay. This is a strike.
Yep. This
So
is a strike. On a strong hit, you do +1 harm and keep initiative. On a weak hit, you lose initiative.
All right. So when I strike or clash in close quarters, this is a Sunderer. When I strike or clash in close quarters, you may suffer -1 momentum and inflict +1 harm on a hit. Decide before rolling.
Okay.
Is there any indication of how much harm an axe does? I'm not sure I ever actually got
Probably
a hold.
4 harm.
Okay.
I mean, actually, probably 3, but I thought 4 would give you an advantage. I bet it's 3.
So what is it? I guess I have +2 momentum, so I would go down to 1. What is Is there like some consequence of that?
Sorry, what's that?
If I
If you use a momentum?
yeah, I guess I just bump it down to +1.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so yeah, sure. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see if I can just like hack this guy down. So I will lose 1 momentum to get +1 harm. I don't think I actually have the PDF with items. I'll have to find that online. So I get a 14 to hit. Let's get a strong hit. At +1 harm, I guess. See if I can find the.
Speaking of heads going rolling.
Okay. Yeah, I think momentum you can have negative momentum. I just think you just use it as part of moves. Yep. Okay. So you do axe harm +2?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
equipment. Here we go.
It's a 3.
Why not?
So you could hear the men, like one of them shouts at the woman, like, "We don't want to hurt you," as she shrieks again, and you you've already started rushing out, so you might as well just follow through, and you bury your axe in the top of this man's head, and blood sprays out.
I yelled to the other guy, "Leave this woman alone."
He turns to you, his eyes wide in terror, and he's like, oh my God, what did you do?"
I'll swing at him if.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So yeah, okay. So I will say that he'll clash with you. You know what? No. He's actually just going to turn to run. And you can do as you will. If you want to attack him, you can. Otherwise, you don't have to.
All right, fine. I'll turn to help the woman if he sprints off.
Okay. So you can see she has blood running down her face. She's apparently got a gash above her eye, and she is looking around terrified and confused.
Say, let me help you, my dear.
All right, she says, "Who are you? Who are you?"
Say, my name is Vorgrax. From. I don't remember what our actual village's name is.
I think it was Bleakhaven.
Bleakhaven, that's right. So my name is Vorgrax. From Bleakhaven.
Wait, I thought it was Bleak.
Nope.
What?
That's not right.
It was Bleak.
You're wrong.
So we some compatriots of and I were on our way to Woodcrest when we saw an overturned cart and tracks leading into the woods.
Okay. So I think this is probably an opportune moment for Unferth to arrive. Unferth, you saw another man fleeing through the forest. But I don't know. I don't know. You saw another man fleeing through the forest. Did you want to intercept him, or?
I'm like, yeah. What was that screaming about? Was that you?
Are you asking me?
You're talking to
No, the guy running through the forest.
He's not running directly at you. He's you would have to run towards him to catch him.
Yeah. I mean, I want to know what's going on, so that's what I would do.
All right. Yeah. Fair enough.
Get him.
All right.
I don't really know what's going on, so
show him your mighty rod.
I mean, obviously, but let's hold on. All I know is that I was rushing here, and then it sounded like Kim might have just finished off the whole situation anyway, and I should really just be back building that guy's funeral cairn. But now I'm in the forest, and there's a guy running, and there's screaming.
Yeah. So as you run after him, he sees you, changes direction, sprints off through the forest as fast as he can. I mean, you can continue to follow him, but it looks like he's just going.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kevin, the GM. It's good work. It's what do you want to do? Follow that guy? Oh shit! He wants to follow that guy. It's gonna be impossible. Yeah, fine. The guy's gone. I search around for a minute for the sound of the scream.
Sure. Anyways, that's fine. You are able to stumble upon Vorgrax and this woman who he's trying to console.
I'm is everything all right, Vorgrax?
I say, I think so. I turn back to the lady. I say, what's your name? Where are you from?
To the lady?
Yeah.
He knows my name, and that I'm from.
Oh God, Unferth is here.
She says, well, isn't it obvious? I'm from Ergath.
It's Ergath.
Say, I'm sorry to say that it's not obvious. I'm not very well traveled.
Have we heard of
she's-
Ergath?
Nope.
I start getting bored and
Is,
thinking about my character.
Is that a village
She
near
says,
here?
what did you ask?
Is that a village near here?
He says, yes, it's it can't be more than a mile away.
Say, well, if you want, we can escort you back there.
Wait. No. How long have we been traveling? Just like part of yesterday?
Mhm. Yep.
I find that like highly unlikely for Gorax.
The
I
what?
say that
But-
that her village could be less than a mile away. Like that there would be a village within like a few hours of ours that we do not know of. When we trade with Woodcrest, which is like a couple of days away or something like that. Like I've never heard of this Ergath, and I don't believe there is such a village nearby.
She like looks at you with angry eyes. She says, "You're not one of them, are you?"
I look like I'm not sure whether to be offended or not.
All right. Well, I'll leave it up to you.
No, I mean that's the expression on my face. I'm like,
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I don't know. One of who?
She says, one of those insane people.
Those Ergath deniers.
I say, you mean these men that were attacking you?
She says, they've been hunting us. Been trying to leave for days, but everything is so unfamiliar. This so confusing.
I say, how could the land less than a mile from your village be confusing to you?
She puts her hands against her head. She's like, I'm not really sure. What is it that you're really trying to say?
I'm a man of simple words. I think I'm only ever saying exactly what I mean to say, young lady.
She like frowns. You can see her like eyes are bloodshot. And she looks at you and she says, I don't understand what you mean.
Say, obviously you've been through some trauma, my dear. Why don't we get you back to your village?
She says, yes, that'll be fine.
Borgrax, we're bound for Woodcrest, taking a detour to this.
She like shouts at you. She says, you again with this fucking Woodcrest.
Say, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, we
And she,
swore
like,
an oath.
Unferth,
like, shows
Unferth,
you,
if
like,
she says it's a mile away, I think we can manage.
So Borgrax, she like
I don't
shoves
believe
you as hard as she can.
I mean, is it hard?
Yeah, I mean, like you'll definitely like stumble back.
Okay.
So yeah, Unferth, please. The woman has obviously been through it.
Says like, I will have no part of this, and turns to go back to his cairn.
All right, that's fine.
Can
I quickly check the guy? Just, I don't know. Is he wearing any kind of insignia or?
Made in Ergath.
the guy that is on the ground.
Yeah, the guy that I chopped in the head.
He doesn't have any insignia. In fact, he doesn't look. It looks like he has like hunter's clothes. Like these are like not actually like long-term outdoor things. They're like day trip kind of clothing. Does that make sense?
Okay. That's all he has is that, and I guess he had some kind of spear or something.
Yeah, he had a crude spear.
Okay. Well, I'll take the lady and I guess ask her if she knows the way.
She says, "I think it's this way," and she points off like deeper into the forest.
Which direction is that?
Deeper into the forest. Not the opposite direction of the road.
What?
The opposite direction of the road.
But I mean, like, which cardinal direction? Is
Oh,
she going in?
to the west.
Okay.
To the left.
Yeah, depending on which way.
We go in a
That's
circle.
the east side of the lake is to the left.
All right. So Hessen, as you, I guess, dance the shadows,
Yes.
you notice that there are several sets of tracks in the fresh snow around what appear to be like the border of the village, like near the tree line.
Do they lead like towards the village, or are they like
No.
pacing around it? Like,
Pacing around the village, yeah.
I see. Uh, and they're like clear of the tree. So there's trees, village inside of trees, and then the pacing is between the trees and the village.
No, they're pretty close to the tree line.
Okay, okay. Um, I will go over into the trees, like somewhere near there, sneak over there, and then hide myself and attempt to see whether, like, well, can I establish whether these like tracks are they in the snow? So are they very recent, or are they like under the snow?
They're in the snow.
Okay. I will sneakily attempt to follow them.
Okay, sure. So you should secure an advantage. No, it doesn't really make sense. All right. I don't see any reason why you can't just sneak after whoever it is. So you follow along the outskirts of the village for some time before you see a pair of men sort of like picking their way along the tree line, doing their best to stay out of sight.
All right, I will continue to sneaky follow them.
Okay. You're just gonna like keep your distance?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So that's fine. So they just continue to like sort of circle the village. It's a wide enough circle that it's going to take a significant amount of time for them to fully circumvent the village.
Yep.
You just stick with them.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. All right. So Unferth leaves the woman and Vorgarax.
I mean, it's probably more
Return
like
to his-
they leave me, but yeah, Unferth has no interest in like following to this foolhardy mission.
Okay. So he's going to go back to the cairn.
Yeah, he's got to finish it. He is like a finisher, man.
He's a closer.
That's right.
All right. Always be cairning. All right.
Jesus.
I mean, I just have to go.
Alright.
So Unferth's problem is like he goes back to the cairn. Unferth's not like
Oh, there's more.
smart guy.
I think that's been
I mean, he's
established.
like-
yes.
Listen,
We had a whole discussion about that earlier.
Unferth's extremely loyal and extremely like dedicated, which is why he's frustrated at the idea of like going to some place he's never heard of that doesn't make sense to him when he thinks he should be going to Woodcrest. But as he's like putting the stones on the cairn, it begins to like weigh heavily on his mind that he has abandoned his leader, Borgarax.
Okay.
And he tries to determine like whether or not he thinks he could actually set out and find this ridiculous mythical village, or whether or not he should like go on to Woodcrest on his own. And he like looks to the heavens for a sign.
I see. You were trying to do a specific move?
I mean, I was trying to look up the moves, but I just assume that there's some version of like communing with the blank here, and I'm wondering if there is such a move. I didn't have a chance to look for it yet.
You know what? There's a move. It's actually for a slightly different purpose, but we can maybe use it here.
Okay.
So
I mean, if not, it's fine. I thought maybe there was something like that in this game.
no. So your question is where you should go?
My question is like, do I feel like I could undertake this mission and track them down, or should I just stay on my path and go to Woodcrest?
All right. Sure. Roll me a D100.
That's definitely not a move that's in this game. Just before I do that, let me just look up one thing. I just want to see where the fuck is it. No, I was trying to look at my Ironsworn move and see if it like did anything, but I don't think it's really gonna apply here. I rolled. I got a 3-4.
A 34. All right. So you ponder for a moment, and the thought that comes into your mind is that you must uphold.
Uphold my oath to Woodcrest.
Well, that's gotta have to be up there.
I see what you mean. Okay. I'm thinking that, and I just realized I have like a particularly heavy rock in my hand, and I like hold it up and I like think about it and I look down and I realize that the cairn is complete except for like this majestic largest stone, which will serve as like.
So you're gonna have to find another stone because this one has to be
no.
Hold it up.
No,
as high as you can.
Anyway, I like hold the stone up to the light.
You mean you uphold the stone to the light?
Yeah, there you go.
I uphold the stone to the light of like I guess it's only like the middle of the day, right? Actually,
what else?
You said
yes,
I was wondering what time it was because you said it was right before lunch that we like heard the scream or whatever, right? So,
yes,
like,
it is.
Yeah, I hold it up to the light of the sun, and like the light shines through it, and it like glows a little bit like red. And I realize that this is like a symbol of the blood loyalty that I have to those in my pack, or at least that's what Unferth determines. And he like carefully places the stone on the cairn, completing the resting place of this poor man. And like rod held aloft, he dashes off into the forest towards where he had seen. No, towards where he'd seen her point.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So Vorgorax, what are you going to do here?
I guess I'll follow the lady. If she would know better than me, unless I don't know if I have any kind of. So I've never heard of this village, right? I imagine I'm not familiar with this forest, so I don't know. Maybe there is a village on the other side of it.
Oh, it's fake.
Maybe I'm being led to my untimely demise, but
All right, so you follow her for a short while before you're pretty easily able to determine that she's not really following any kind of route so much as like wandering aimlessly. Like she's not even really keeping to a straight line.
I say, Miss, are you sure you know the right way?
She says, of course, it's just through these trees.
Say, I don't feel like we've been keeping a straight path. Perhaps it's better if we go back to the road.
She says, the road? What road? There's no roads near here. We're just past the river.
Are we? Not as far as I know.
Probably
I say if you when I came to your rescue, I was coming off the road by the edge of the forest. If you'll follow me, we'll go back there, and I think that'll lead to the town.
She looks at you confused. She says, "Oh, no, that can't be right. Climb one of these trees. If you can spy the peak, we'll be sure of where we are."
So yeah, very well. I guess I don't know.
Peak?
Climb up a tree looking for a peak.
Anything nearby at all that would sound like that we would think of as a peak?
No.
I don't think so.
All right. I don't think it's appropriate for you to roll for anything, Vorgrax. You like climb like a small tree, a few branches up, enough to confirm your suspicion that like
there are no peaks.
While there are like foothills to the north, there's like not really a peak to speak of, at least that you can see.
All right, yeah. So I'll climb back down. I say, Look, miss, I'm sorry, but there's no peak. Perhaps you are further from home than you thought.
She says, well, "Wait, what are you saying? Are you calling me a liar?"
No, I'm not calling you a liar. I think you might be
She
confused.
says, I think you're confused, son. Why don't you climb back up that tree? Mountains don't
Say,
just wander off.
Miss, I know what I saw, and there's no mountain. There are some foothills to the north, but
She says, someone should have taught you some manners. She grows like visibly angry.
Unfirth starts getting the feeling that he was right the whole time and he should go to Woodcrest. Just like as he's running through the forest, he like has that sense.
say, look, miss, I came to your rescue out of a sense of obligation to this region, to this world, but no, I'm not sure I need to stand here and be berated. I know where I saw. I live not too far from here.
She says, "Oh, you live in the village too? I've never seen you before."
Say, I live in Bleakhaven.
She says, "There's no place called Bleakhaven around here," and she like picks up a rock.
Say, miss, there's no reason to resort to violence. Bleakhaven is about a half day's ride from here. Or walk,
Says,
I don't know.
I'm
How
tired
long
of
would
you
it
people
travel?
and your goddamn lies, and she like throws the rock as hard as she can at you.
Thankfully, Unfirth's lost in the forest and nowhere near this.
No, I
comes,
mean,
ar-
if this,
comes around and
Wanders by at the opportune
I was
moment.
gonna say, if this rock doesn't hit Vorgarax, it's definitely hitting Unfirth.
Borgrax kind
Like
of
100.
just
Can it
dodges.
just hit the Grey Mother? Can it hit that like lump in the corner that nobody knows what that was? It turns out to be the Grey Mother.
So I don't think you need to like test for this. I think she's a very good throw, but like she seems like very angry. All right.
I'll say, look, honestly, I don't have time for this. I was more than willing to escort you back if you said it was only a mile, but I don't I don't need this distraction from my journey. Say,
All right.
I bid you farewell.
She like screams in rage and like charges towards you.
Is she like, I don't know, strong enough to hurt me, or is it something where I could just kind of like catch her and hold her off?
Just
Yeah.
the hand to the forehead kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
So I will say that this is I'd say this is probably a face danger.
I had to warn you, this was.
I guess I just want to like defend myself so that she doesn't
Yeah,
like
no, I understand.
claw my eye
It's
out.
not like a strike or anything, but I still think, well, yeah, that's fine. So the thing is that she is not gonna like stop, right? You can like subdue her, I guess, but that's gonna be facing danger, essentially.
Yeah, okay. I want to try to like hold her off. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll face danger. But my attempt would be to just like hold her off, and in the hopes that she would kind of realize that no, it's futile.
So that you're using forceful defense or endurance, I would say, right?
Yeah, I guess endurance probably. I don't want to necessarily hurt her, but
No, I
you know,
Wait,
I'll
what
do
are
it.
forceful defense and endurance? Are those?
Those are aspects of face danger.
And that's a move that uses like edge or heart or something like that. Probably.
Well, it uses iron if you are using forceful defense.
Oh, I understand. So I don't know if this was intentional or not. So I don't want to say the wrong thing, but we're not using the mechanic of the Ironsworn game to roll dice.
Which one?
The like Ironsworn doesn't use the Apocalypse Sword like 2d6. It's a totally different mechanic. No. The mechanic is you roll a d6 and add your stat, and you compare that to each individual roll of two different d10s. And so your options are, so you roll two d10s, you get a number. Then you roll your d6 and add your stat. that number you then compare to the result on each D10, and you have 3 options. You either hit both, miss both, or one of each, and those 3 different types of outcomes are defined. It's the same thing as like the 1 through 6, 7 through 9, 10 plus, but it's defined in a different way.
Okay, I can do that.
I see. It's a very confusing way to roll dice.
I don't think it's that confusing. Roll 2 D10.
means that like the target is moving.
Yeah,
yeah. I think it sounds a little bit like they're trying to come up with something unique. I'm not sure that it's actually adding anything to the game, but let's try it out.
Right. I don't know if it's adding anything.
All right, let's try it out. I
Roll
had
2
no
D10s.
idea.
All right, so /roll.
As I often do, I skipped over the part of the RPG. It was like, this is how you play a role-playing game. This is what dice are.
And then roll a single D6 with whatever stat you're rolling.
What am I rolling, by the way? What
You're rolling plus iron.
Okay.
This is a storytelling game.
So I guess I beat one, but not the other. So
Right, which is the same thing as like getting a 6 through 9
A
in
partial
7
success.
through 9.
okay.
Your action score is greater than only one of the challenge dice. It's a mixed result. You've probably succeeded, but with a lesser effect or with a cost.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so you encounter a minor complication or delay. All right, so I'm going to say, so the woman, you managed to like push her away without like harming her or yourself, but in the struggle, your like belt knife like slips off,
Okay.
and I guess you like both kind of like see it at the same time.
I say, please, miss. There's no reason for this. I have no cause to harm you.
So Unferth, you sort of stumble onto this scene after a moment, and the woman sees you and shrieks, "He's trying to murder me! This
Say,
madman!"
I assure you, he's here to do no such thing.
Even
It's just a gentle
I think
idiot.
she's
She's talking about you, Vorgrax.
Oh, all right.
Trying to
I mean, like,
Then I say, I assure you, I intend to do no such
I'm
thing.
not trying to do that. All right, I like knock her over the head with my staff.
All right, yeah, sure. Yeah, I would call this
head knocking.
A knocking
that's
over
fine.
the head.
That's fine. Wow, this is okay. That's fine. So she like allows you to approach as some way to resolve the situation, and you swing out with your staff and like crack her over the head, and she crumples to the ground.
Say,
I'm like, Vorgrax, let's get the fuck out of here. No, I say let us like carry her to the road, and
I will bury her next to the other man.
I'm building cards today, so.
No, I say, Vorgrax, let us carry her to the road and perhaps bring her to like the healers at Woodcrest. She's surely in need of some kind of attention.
So I think she's indeed very confused. Hopefully they can set her head straight. So yeah, I'll just pick her up and sling her.
It's not like, it's not like
I grab
like off center.
I grab her severed head.
I forgot that my rod has like a blade on it.
I thought it's less of a rod and more of a sword.
You know.
Yeah,
right.
I'll grab her, sling her over my shoulder, and we'll set forth back to the room.
All right, so Hessen, you follow the two men for some time before they sort of step into the forest a little more deeply.
Okay.
Didn't we like set out with this guy? Are we not like confused at all that he just disappeared?
That's pretty much what I do.
Who?
Oh, okay.
I'm sure
Hessen
he's around here somewhere.
I will continue to follow at an appropriate distance, such as to keep my
appropriate distance.
shadow
Sure.
veils intact
Gossamer Veils of Shadow.
from the realms of shadow.
So it quickly becomes pretty apparent that these two men are stopping to eat. They take out, one of them takes out like what looks like a a preserved bit of jerky and begins cutting off like very thin strips of it, and passing one to the other man.
Can I get close enough to hear things that they're saying?
Yeah, sure. So I think that you are going to need to gather information,
Okay.
and perhaps the Veils of Shadow will be of use to you.
Perhaps they will. All right. So what is
So I
gather
guess you
information?
roll like several d10s,
Is that true for this as well?
pass one over the other, tie them in a knot.
Hold on. I can figure out how to do this.
I think you spin a top, and depending on how long it takes to tip over, you have to either choose your
Okay.
mother or your father.
All I have to do is roll plus wits.
No, but then you have to roll 2 d10s, and if you get higher than the d10s, then you something.
But I do get to re-roll this roll.
With the d10s or the roll.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Okay. Oof. We'll re-roll that. Jesus.
Wait, what are you doing?
He's refusing to partake in your mad dice scheme.
It's the fucking game. I mean, what do you want
Not
from
for
me?
this.
No,
Wait,
I
is
think
that
it is.
Is that how you
That's
fucking
the-
roll for
that's-
everything?
That's the
Yes, that's how
mechanic.
you roll checks.
But
Are we sure?
yeah,
Yes.
I mean, unfortunately, you can't really just roll the other way because obviously the bonuses that you have to your stats are set up for
they're set for a single die.
this mechanic.
Okay.
You just roll
I mean,
two.
what-
Just
I-
roll
I-
2d10 and roll a d6 plus your thing, and then you'll know, right? Unfortunately, I don't think you can combine this into a single line on.
Well, you could actually, because it wouldn't matter. You would see what the result of your 6. If you,
Alright.
if you do that, you're still going to get your answer.
All right. Yeah.
So you had a half success.
You got a 21.
It's the same thing as it would have been otherwise.
So
Alright.
it's a partial
It's a
success.
It's
right?
a weak hit.
Yeah, weak hit.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. Gather information. On a weak hit, the information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. Envision what you discover and take +1 momentum.
Sure. So part of the envision stuff is for playing like without a game master. So I'll be doing the envisioning here.
Okay. I mean, I can ask
got
the
somebody
Oracle
else.
if I'm unsure.
Sure. No, that's fine. Do you have something, a particular danger that you want to introduce? Go for it.
Let's see. It turns out that anyone who has eaten the grain from this area has sickened and died, and that's why they have this jerky and are looking like really hungry.
Sure. Yeah.
That seem reasonable?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'll say the men like talk in hushed whispers about like what could possibly be causing like the troubles, and one of them is like, you know, I heard Semex saying that it was the grain, but here's here's my last bit of jerky. Hopefully we'll find a solution before we run out.
All right. Very good.
Then one of them like turns and says like, "Did you hear something?" And what do you say? No.
Nope. It must be the wind.
Well, yes, I did hear something.
You were talking about the grain.
I appear in the fire. Hello.
The one of them says like, I don't know how long we can make it out here. At some point we're just gonna have to give up. We can't last forever in these woods. The other one
Okay.
doesn't. Yep.
I will like start to make noise as if I'm like just approaching for the first time.
All right. Deception.
It's me. I'm approaching for the first time.
I mean, that's the worst way to pretend that you're approaching for the first time.
Especially if you're saying it from like right next to them.
But I
Alright,
am
so-
able to throw my whistle. So I will make it sound like the whistle is
Alright,
starting
anybody
further
can
away
throw
and
a
then
whistle.
comes up.
All right.
That's tricky technique.
All right. So the men stand up immediately and turn towards you with these crude spears that they have. They say,
But not their faces.
What?
They turn their faces. They keep away. The spears are.
Sure.
No, that's what their face is. Is the crude spear.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
they shout at you like, identify yourself.
There is no need to be afraid. My name is Hasten Frata. I am a simple traveler. I have come to find out what has happened to the town.
They say, which town are you seeking?
The one over there.
They like
Yeah, to
look
the
back and
left.
forth at each other and like you can see their like their hands tighter on the spear. And they say, perhaps you could name this village for us.
I might be able to, but I'm afraid that I've forgotten the name of it.
What crest?
They say, listen, I'm afraid you're gonna have to come with us.
Where?
Nice move. Get them to
Why
say
don't-
it, and then you're
they
like,
say,
"That's
why
what I
don't-
was looking
Why
for."
don't you remind us? They say, our camp is not far from here now, but I'm afraid we must bind you. Please come over here.
These guys are really.
Please come over here.
So that we may bind you.
Why
No,
do you
they are like totally not like. Yeah, they're not. They like obviously don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Why do you feel the need to bind me and bring me to your camp?
They say it's best if we explain later.
I am asking you to explain now.
They like look back and forth at each other, like sort of with an exasperated expression.
I say I have that effect on people.
They say, look, it's for your own good.
These guys are really unconvincing.
I will need a little bit more assurance than that.
Um,
I tell you what, why don't one of you throw your purse over here? And once I have it, I will come and you may bind me and I will go with you to your camp.
they like look back and forth at each other, like confused. So
Sounds reasonable to me.
I should have pulled this on Unferth. I've made a terrible mistake.
Made a huge.
all right, why don't
mistake.
you try to compel them?
Okay. Give me a second while I figure out how to do that.
So I think you are. I guess you could be charm, pacifying, bartering, or convincing them, but it seems more likely you are lying or swindling.
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right, then you roll plus shadow.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
So
It's
roll
not that
7d8.
complicated.
But it's like needlessly more
Just press the
complicated.
up arrow and roll the same exact thing you rolled last time, except
No,
change the 3.
Yeah, exactly. Listen,
That takes maybe
Fucking-
2 seconds.
the great success.
All right.
Wonderful success. Everything is
Amazing.
great. Very large leak.
All right. So one of them like takes out his purse. He says, "Look, it's not like this is going to do any. It's not like this is going to do any good anyway. But like, please, you can take a look, but don't look inside the bag."
You should totally look inside the bag.
What do you the fuck do you mean you can take a look but don't look inside the bag?
He's like, "It's. I can't explain. It's for your own good."
Listen, I've changed my mind. You can keep the purse. I'm just gonna go because
They say, no.
Guys are into some freaky shit.
there's something really wrong with you guys.
They say, listen, I understand you're confused, but it has
I'm
to
not
be this way."
confused. That's Woodcrest. I'm from fucking Shadowbane, whatever the fuck name. What's the
Bleakhaven?
fucking town? What?
Bleakhaven.
Bleakhaven. Yeah,
Bleakhaven.
some terrible name that you would never actually name your town. All right.
Well,
I
we
wasn't
rolled
there.
a bunch of dice and looked at a chart, and then we founded it. So we had no choice.
All right.
Terrible
So they
name
like
for a
they immediately like look at each other like really confused, and they like sort of like step back a bit, and they say, "You're from Bleakhaven,
Yes.
and you're headed towards
No, I mean,
Woodcrest."
no, like I'm from somewhere else because we're all from somewhere else. But like that
I
is
think
my
we're from
most
Bleakhaven.
recent port of call. No, I thought it was clear that we're not from here. That's what Kevin said. Like none of us are from here.
No. We're all from Bleakhaven. That's like
I mean, your ancestors are not from this
been
land.
outside our village.
Born and raised, man.
Okay. So I am ancestrally from somewhere else. So like
Yeah.
I mean my people, I am not of Bleakhaven, but like that's where I've lived. I don't associate with Bleakhaven. I just want to put that out there.
I'm from almost.
I don't have like a jacket or
Like-
a hat or any kind of accoutrement.
I mean, did you go to Bleakhaven
don't-
High? 'Cause
I
if you
don't-
did,
I don't
like,
vote in the elections. I don't
I don't even approve of their system of government.
I don't think they have.
Well,
All
so
right.
I really don't
it's just
approve
a
of that.
fucking gray mother.
Yeah, we have a gray mother. You guys don't have a gray mother?
Because if you don't, like, you can have ours.
We have a
They
spare.
like relax their spears a bit, and they say, "Well, why didn't you just say that?"
I don't know, because you were all being weird with the spears and like we can't tell you anything but come here and don't
You,
eat
like,
the
wouldn't-
grain.
You wouldn't turn your faces toward him. It's just spears only. Like,
You don't have faces, you're just gigantic spears. Does that seem fucking trustworthy to you? I don't know why I'm asking you this. You're a fucking spear. Anyway, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you were acting shady and telling me you can't tell me anything. You're gonna bind me and take me away, and asking me what the name of the town that's right there is.
They look sort of embarrassed. They say, "Listen, I understand. It just doesn't make any sense, but really, whatever business you had in Woodcrest, my advice is just to turn around and go. And if you see anybody else, don't stop to talk to them."
I've changed my mind, and I will come with you to your camp.
They look at each other confused yet again.
This guy's.
For I have sworn a vow. Check the lab.
oh, wait, or was it an oath?
No,
You mean
it's a vow.
Wait,
It's not
can
a
it be
bond.
both?
Bond.
It's not a bond, and it's not an oath. It's a vow, and I have sworn it. And I shall keep my vow. And I sense that the land of Woodcrest is in great need. Haven,
Sworn of both.
Looks at the back of
Bleakcrest
his guitar.
is in great need.
All right. They sort of like look really yeah, so I think you're gonna have to compel them at this point.
Sure.
They are once again totally out of their depth.
All right.
And I think this is actually a plus heart.
Well, that's
I
gonna
think
be
you're-
bad.
I don't think you're lying or swindling. That doesn't, at least it doesn't sound like you
Oh my
are
god.
doing one of those things in an immediate capacity.
This is what we're looking for. We're trying to get Hess in the heart. So.
All right, a 2 and
all
a
right.
10. A 4 plus 1 is bigger than 2, but not bigger than 10. So you got
There you
a weak hit.
Congratulations.
They nod slowly. They say, "Very well, but we will still need to bind you."
What if you bind one hand? You see, one of my arms doesn't work. I was born with the arm virus, and I can only use my left arm. He says, gesticulating with his right
With
hand.
his right arm.
No, your left.
It's,
my western arm.
Whatever arm is to the north. That's the only one I
Which
can
way are you
use.
guys facing? I can't tell because your faces are just spears.
That should make it even easier to tell which way they're facing.
That's true.
All right. They say, no, we have to insist. We're not allowed to bring anyone back
That's
to camp unless they're
bullshit.
bound.
All right, well, at least let me carry your purse. The initial deal should stand.
I mean, that's just
Honor the deal hashtag.
that's just good man.
One of the men says, it's not like I have much use for coins anymore anyway. So he'll like hand you his purse as they like pull up their rope.
All right, great. I make the purse vanish somewhere into my voluminous garments.
Whoops.
I lost it in the Shadow Realm. Sorry. Don't know what happened, but
Veils of shadow. All right, I hold out my hands to be bound.
All right. They,
And one foot.
they bind your hands. All right. Unferth and Borgarax. So what are you guys going to do now that you have, I guess, decided to knock this woman unconscious and, I don't know, carry her back to the cart to be buried?
No, we're going back. We're going back to the
carrying
road,
her to
and then
Woodcrest.
we're going back to the road and then to Woodcrest.
See if they can help her. And if not, they'll Karen her.
She needs.
She needs her for us.
This lady. She needs to
They'll either
care.
care for her or Karen for her. Either way,
Oof.
it's not our deal anymore. And
She
it won't be
needs-
soon.
She needs the attention of a grey mother.
She's never gonna get that.
That's out of the question.
We'll like keep making appointments with the Grey Mother, and every time we show up, she just won't actually be there.
All right. So, so you walk towards the town, and as you crest the hill nearest town, you see that you see the town beyond. Its gates are hanging open. There's no smoke coming in any of the chimneys. No lights seem to be on.
But if we move one of the apples in their pantry, they'll probably know about it and get really mad at us.
I mean, you did steal it.
Fucking Christ.
That's illegal.
Yeah, I mean, I say to Vorgarex, I'm like, well, surely there must be a healer still around. Let's go.
Say, well, we came all this way, so let's see what's going on.
Let's see the sights.
Never been to Woodcrest before.
Me neither.
All right, fair enough. So, you walk towards the front gates, and you see that the town looks. You don't see a soul in sight. As you walk into town, you can see that the buildings are all dark, and yeah, there doesn't seem to be like any footsteps, or I mean, there's some fresh snow on the ground. Everything seems to be completely undisturbed.
I say, Vorgarex, this bodes not well. Perhaps we were right to suspect danger and foul play in Woodcrest.
Say, indeed. Is there like a, I don't know, central build?
A well we can drop her down?
It's kind of well we can try going on there. Yeah, there is. There's an inn.
I'd say. Well, let's see if we can't find out what happened. There's not like bodies around or anything like that. Right? Are the houses damaged, or they're just all abandoned?
I mean, some of the doors are like open.
What's like the closest house to us? What does it look like?
The regular house. So it looks like a regular house. It's got a thatch roof.
Are there any noticeable levels of like technological or engineering difference between Woodcrest and Bleakhaven?
Not particularly, no.
All right, I go to the closest open house and just peek my head inside.
Sure, yeah. So you walk up to the building. The door is open. You stick your head inside, and it's not very bright inside. There's no lights on, and you see what looks like a normal house. You can see that like the snow as it fell, like clearly like came in, a couple inches into the door. It's not like the door was closed at all during the snow or anything like that. It looks like a normal place.
They got any Sunny D?
You gotta check the fridge.
I checked the fridge.
No Sunny D.
Fuck. All right, let's go to the inn.
I wonder if the inhabitants of Woodcrest had to flee in a hurry.
That's what I was wondering, actually. I was just going to ask. No, I was just going to ask, is there any sign that somebody, like, packed up a wardrobe or, like, is there anything, like, strewn about? Is the bedroom, like, in a skewness?
No, nothing seems to be, like, askew. I wouldn't say, like, there's, like, dinner on the table and someone just, like, left. But, like, it doesn't appear like there's no, like, signs of, like, hurried packing or, like, anything like that.
I turn to Vorgrex and I say, very well. Free town. Let us move our people here from Bleakhaven and expand to Woodcrest. We shall call it Bleakcrest.
It is pretty bleak.
We're gonna erect a great many cairns there.
Yeah, let's go to the
commemorate the people that should have lived here.
Let's go to the inn.
All right. We go to the inn. What's the name of the inn?
The name of the inn. Let's find out.
Say it's like the Woodcrest Inn. I'm gonna.
Why don't you roll 2
the
D100s?
inn at Woodcrest.
2 D100s. Okay.
Yep.
It's gonna be the bleak something.
So you mean the inn at Woodcrest?
No, I don't mean that.
Forester's Rest.
61
Forester's
and
Rest.
76.
So easy. Forester's Rest.
At Woodcrest.
But I already rolled the 2 things.
61 and 76.
Yeah.
Just pretend that it doesn't matter.
Woodcrest Forester's Rest?
All right.
Come on. Lay it on us, because we're basically out of time.
Bleak something.
All right. It's called the Stone Elk Inn.
All right.
All right.
The Stone Elk Inn, I approach it. I say, I've not heard of this place. And I go inside.
Why would you ever say that as you walk into a place?
Vorgrex.
Mulberry Street. I've never heard of this street before.
Unferth mutters something to himself, and everybody just ignores him like usual.
Well, I mean, she's passed out, so...
She's paying very close attention.
All right. So, what is the state of the inn?
So the inn. Okay. I'll say this first. Actually, as you walk into the center of town, you can see the iron statue, which is at the center of every town, and there is quite a sight to be held there. Sitting basically next to the large iron, or I guess not large, but like waist high iron statue or totem are several corpses.
Oh, all right. Let's go check that out then.
You don't have to. You can go to the inn.
What is the?
They probably have room.
What is the? Well, actually, I just kind of wanted to set down this lady.
What's another corpse in the pile?
Another corpse in the pile. All right, so I guess we're out of time, though. I guess that's a pretty good place to leave it.
Sure.
With a pile of corpses? Sure.
Yeah. Very
Where
bleak.
Many of these.
All right. Well, we will pick it back up there next week. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks guys for playing. If you're watching this on YouTube, come check out our Twitch channel. Watching this on Twitch, go check our YouTube channel. You can catch all the old videos. We play. Yes.
They'll all be up there eventually.
The thing about all the old videos was an issue for Unferth earlier, as he was trying to recall who he was.
Anyways, we
I'll
play
get caught up.
every 7:30 at Eastern
What?
on Tuesday.
It's going downhill, boys.
We play every Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern, and this train is gonna arrive at the station.
And
We'll see you next week.
yes, good
Wrap
night.
it up.
We'll see you Tuesday. We'll see you every Tuesday.